Demco's Air Force One supplemental braking system was specifically designed for diesel coaches with air brakes. In this video, I will be covering what sets our supplemental braking system apart from the competition. The Air Force One actuator is the industry's smallest. It simply clamps to the brake arm of the towed vehicle and has a straight shot to the firewall where it is secured with a self-tapping screw. When air enters into the cylinder, it separates, pulling down the brake pedal. Let's take a look at the Air Force One operating unit. This mounts in the engine compartment of the towed vehicle. We've done everything from a smart car all the way up to a 1-ton dually. If it is a flat towable vehicle, the Air Force One will fit. So no need to look up on that fit list to see if it'll work. Now, as you can see, the operating unit itself is small in size. So finding a spot for this to mount in the engine compartment is fairly simple. Now, the Air Force One unit consists of 3 simple components. It has a small air tank inside that holds a reserve of air. That runs off to a solenoid that has 2 wires that come out of the unit that connect to our breakaway switch on the front of the vehicle. When that pin on that breakaway switch is pulled, that opens up our solenoid and releases the air to the cylinder to pull down that brake pedal and stop the towed vehicle safely. It also has a vacuum generator. Now, how this works is, as air passes through it, it creates a vacuum. So what we do is we tee into the vacuum line between the brake booster and the engine. We also put some check valves in place. That way, there's no vacuum bleed off during normal driving conditions or while towing. Now, on the front of the unit, you will see we have an air line that will come in. That comes in from this fitting on the front of the vehicle. We have an air line that comes out. That'll run through the firewall to our cylinder on our brake pedal. And then we have our vacuum connection that we just talked about. When your customer is ready to tow, all they need to do is simply hook up our airline jumper and they're ready to tow. The last component of the Air Force One is our air tank assembly. This is installed on the frame of the chassis on the coach. This is what sets us apart from the competition. By us using this, we stay DOT compliant and we don't void any warranties on the chassis. Usually, as soon as you tap into any airline on a chassis, the warranty is voided. But by us using this air tank assembly, because it is DOT compliant, we don't void the warranty and the coach is protected should anything happen. The air tank assembly consists of these 3 major components. We have the air tank. This holds a reserve of air. So when the brakes are applied in the towed vehicle, none of the coach's air is robbed from the braking system. With other systems, they tap straight into the airline, and by them doing this, they alter the braking performance of up to 30%. Off the side of the air tank, you'll see we have a flow protection valve. This valve protects the coach should anything happen. Let's say the customer drives over some road debris, like a blown out tire. It flips up and rips out one of our airlines. Well, the flow protection valve senses the air pressure loss and shuts off our system, so the coach doesn't lose its air supply. Our last component on the air tank assembly is the R12 relay valve. This valve is the same exact valve the coaches have on them. Now what we do is tap into the air supply line on the braking system using our DOT fittings supplied in the kit. That runs into our flow protection valve. We then tap into what they call a metered airline. This is the same airline that is telling the valves on the coach how hard to apply the brakes. We run this line into the top of our R12 relay valve, and now when they press on the brake pedal in the coach, it's telling our valve how hard to apply the brakes in the towed vehicle. This also makes the Air Force One 100% proportional. The brake pedal in the towed vehicle is going to apply the brakes the exact same amount as in the coach. So like looking in the mirror and waving, it's doing the exact same thing. Lastly, we run an air line from the bottom of our valve to the back of the coach, where we install another fitting of ours like this. And now all the customer has to do is hook up their airline jumper and they're ready to tow. I'd like to point out some final notes on the Air Force One. In the fall of 2017, Spartan approached us and stated they loved the Air Force One so much they wanted to co-brand it with us. So in the spring of 2018, we finalized this, and now every new Spartan chassis will come from the factory with our air tank assembly pre-installed. They are calling this the Safe Haul. Other things to take note on the Air Force One: it's a simple installation. Zero setup for your customer to tow. The power brakes are activated, so no hard pedal, and it has an integrated breakaway system. It is also fully transferable to new vehicles. Our reinstall kit is less than $50. We are also chassis manufacturer compliant, so we will not void any kind of warranty. It also fits all flat towable vehicles, so no need to look it up on a fit list. The Air Force One comes with a 5-year warranty, and it has the industry's lowest comeback rates. In the last 6 years, we had less than a 0.03% warranty claim rate.